We have a lot of cold air forecast for the states in the coming days and weeks. We'll likely have another tropical cyclone on our hands within the next few days. And I want to talk about how much snow and ice we have up in the Arctic currently. This many times does lead to a colder than expected winter. It's October 5th, 2025. Let's get into the weather updates. The National Hurricane Center has given our area of interest out here in the MDR a 50% chance for tropical development in the next 2 days and a 70% chance of development over the next 7 days. Right now, though, a lot of these models keep this potential system out to sea, which is good news. This is the Google DeepMind GenCast model, and you can see most of these members are just holding this out to sea. Now, it does see some possible tropical development out here in the Caribbean and in the Gulf moving ahead, so we'll have to watch these areas. Tropical activity in October is very common. This right here is the Google DeepMind FNV model, and as you can see, it agrees with the GenCast. Waters are still very above average out here in the Caribbean and in the Gulf. All of this blue we see here along the equatorial Pacific, this is what's moving us into our weak La Nina. So with that, we do expect this subtropical jet stream to weaken. This should reduce the amount of wind shear in the Caribbean and Gulf, so again, we need to watch this area for October. Over the last few weeks, we have seen a steady increase of drought conditions out east. The good news is, over the next 72 hours, we're expecting a decent amount of rainfall out here through portions of the Southeast, Ohio Valley, up through the Mid-Atlantic and New England, and portions of the plains as well. This is our current setup. We have our jet stream diving into the west. This is what is bringing our cool down out west, and these well below average temperatures will begin to sink into the plains over the next 48 hours. As this trough pushes out to the east, it'll also pick up some of this moisture coming off the Gulf, and that's what's going to allow for a lot of rainfall through this region over the next 3 to 5 days. Out ahead of these cooler temperatures for the west, we will see temperatures out east continue to climb, although just ahead there is another cool down expected for out east. Here we go as we get into the middle of next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We've got some nice, cool below average air sinking back into the east. This is more typical of what we expect to see in fall. Periods of below average air, followed by periods of above average air. This is when the northern hemisphere is trying to make that transition from the heat of summer to the cool of winter. And this back and forth temperature swing, if we look ahead here, is expected to continue. Rounds of cold air, rounds of warm air. This also can ignite some severe weather. We do have a fall severe weather season, and it does look like as we push through October, we're going to see more and more chances for that severe weather. I wanted to take a look ahead here because there is a suggestion from our global models that we'll start to see some blocking up here over Greenland. Now, when this happens, we can actually get these pieces of energy diving down into the states, and sometimes this colder air sticking around for longer periods of time, especially if we have some ridging out west like you can see here. If this pattern were to set up like this mid to late October, it is possible to get some snow into the northern plains, into the upper Midwest, into New England. So this would be interesting. It's a little bit far out. The confidence level on this setup, of course, isn't going to be too high right now just because of how far it is out. But as we get further through October and into November, we do expect an enhanced jet stream up here, especially with all that above average water sitting out there in the northern Pacific. We may end up seeing a very chilly and stormy mid to late October. This is something here that I do like to highlight. The blue here is our snow that's currently on the ground, and the orange is our sea ice. We have a decent amount more snow and ice up here than we've had in previous years at this same time. Taking a look back at 2004, obviously a lot less ice up here. Less snow in Siberia, northern Russia, and less snow up here in Alaska as well. Going back to 23, the ice levels are also much lower up here, and there's much less snow in this region as well. Ice up to our north makes it a lot easier for cold air to be transferred down into the states. And again, if I go back to 2025, you notice there's a lot more snow and ice. So once our weak La Nina, likely enhanced jet stream does set up, it's going to be interesting to see how cold we do get in the states and how early on. There are a lot of meteorologists that suggest the front end of our winter could be much colder than our back end. And as of right now, I'm pretty on board with that thought. This is definitely a sign of chilly things to come. Over the next few days, the Rockies are expected to get some snow. You can see right out here. This is our NAM 12K model. Wyoming, Montana, portions potentially of northeastern Utah, northwestern Colorado. We are expected to see some flakes falling. Looking out a little bit further to next weekend, we could see some snow potentially falling up there in the Pacific Northwest. This will likely be at the higher elevations, not at the lower elevations. And then, as I said, as we get into mid-October, we'll have to see what's going to happen, but there are some suggestions that we could get some snow in the northern plains or upper Midwest. This is a little bit far out, but I'll continue to watch it. Our European ensemble is still being pretty aggressive with where it thinks we could see snowfall over the next 6 weeks. It brings a good amount into the Rockies. You can see portions of the plains, especially the northern plains, could get involved, upper Midwest, New England. Now, of course, the accuracy of this isn't going to be fantastic. Just taking a look out 46 days, but it's just interesting seeing how aggressive the European is being with this potential snowfall. And it makes sense with what I've been saying, how a lot of these models models see a big cooldown coming earlier in the winter season or towards the middle and end of fall. So this type of snowfall outlook from the European ensemble can be interesting to look at, just to get a gauge of the confidence level of these models and how they expect winter to develop in the coming weeks. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, feel free to throw me a follow or sub. I do make posts like this every day, and I stream 5 days a week to try and answer all of your weather-related questions. I also have a Discord, Connor's Climate Corner HQ, so if you want to add me on Discord, it is free right now to get in there. It's an awesome Discord. It has tons of weather information, and it is constantly updated every day. We've got our team in there. If you want to go in there and talk to me off stream or ask me any questions, it's a great place to get in contact with me, and I'll make you part of the climate crew and give you access to everything in that Discord. I'll see you in the next video.